Hi, my name is Pete. You're watching my tutorial on making a first-person dungeon explorer in GameMaker. When we're done, it'll look something like the clip we have in the background here. So, to begin, I'm going to create a new project in GameMaker. Now we've got our project, let's add ourselves a room and an object. While I remember, I'm going to add an instance of the object into the room too, because I always forget to do this and then wonder why I'm left staring at a blank screen. Next, we're going to add a create event to our object and a code action to the create event. First thing we're going to do in here is call d3d start to say that we want to use 3D, and then we're going to define a vertex format. We call vertex format begin, then vertex format add position 3D, and then vertex format end. Next we create a vertex buffer with vertex create buffer. We call vertex begin, and then we'll add some vertices into our vertex buffer using vertex position, and then we use vertex end to say that we're done filling the buffer up with data. We add a draw event, and we're going to put a code action in that as well. Inside that code action, we're going to call d3d set projection ext to set up the camera. Then we add a call to vertex submit to actually draw our vertex buffer, and we'll hit run and see what happens. Okay, we got ourselves a white triangle. I'm going to add a sprite to the project now and draw on it a bit. Then we'll change our vertices around a bit. I'm going to add another vertex and shift them around to make a square. We need to change our vertex format to include some texture coordinates as well. I'll get the texture coordinates for the sprite I've just added, then add those into the vertex buffer. We need to change the primitive type to a triangle strip, and we'll switch off texture filtering while we're at it. Now let's hit run again and we get a textured square. Okay, let's move it around a bit. We add a call to matrix build and set the world matrix to the matrix we've just built. We also need to store the existing matrix and set it back after we're done. Hit run now and we have a spinning square. Awesome! Add in a pile more vertices to get a cube. Hit run again and we should get a spinning cube. Okay, now we've got ourselves a cube, we can use it as a building block. We'll add a variable called map to the create event. I'm going to make this an array of strings because it's easy to actually kind of draw in it in the code. Then in the draw event, we're going to loop through the map cells. For each cell, we're going to see if it's set to 1. If it is set to 1, we'll build a matrix for that position and submit a draw call for our vertex buffer. We also adjust our camera settings to put ourselves inside the map. Hit run again and there we go! We have a maze. Now, by creating a new vertex buffer, we can add floor and ceiling tiles easily enough. Then, I'll create a shader. I need to add code to set my shader and restore it into the draw event. In the shader, I'm just going to adjust the colour slightly based on the depth. We hit run and there we go, a slightly prettier maze. Now, to add in some controls for the camera, we need to add a step event to our object, and in there we're going to listen for some key presses. In the create event, we'll add a couple of new variables. px and py are the x and y position of the player in the maze. tpx and tpy are the target position of the player in the maze. We'll only listen for the key presses when tpx is almost equal to px and tpy is almost equal to py. We'll change the camera to be at px and py. When the player presses the keys, we'll change TPX and TPY. At the bottom of the step event, we'll lerp PX and PY towards TPX and TPY. This isn't a frame rate independent way of moving the player, which is bad, but it does move our player smoothly through the maze and looks nice, so we'll go with it for now. I'm going to add another variable, pdir, for the direction the player is looking in. We add some code to let the player turn left and right by 90 degrees and change the camera to actually use this for the look at position. Now we can look around the maze in different directions. We also adjust our movement code so that W always moves forward, A left, and so on. We'll check to see the player isn't trying to walk through a wall here too. That's where I'm going to leave you for today. There's loads more things we can do from here. Adding objects into our maze, adding sound effects, a UI, lots of things to actually turn this into a game. You can find me on Twitter as @TalkyLemon. Let me know there if you're interested in taking this further. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thank you!